Welcome to Buffalo Campday Recap. I'm Thad Brown along with AJ Feldman. Day 11 of camp, or better said, the second to last day of camp here at St. John Fisher University. And AJ, I think we'll start with something pretty simple. The Bills' offense today was bad.
Yes.
Atrocious, terrible. What word do you have to describe it?
The words that I'm trying to use, we can't say on air.
Yes.
There's some others that we heard uttered on the sidelines, but no, it was not good. Later in practice, it got a little better.
Because it couldn't get worse.
No, it could not. The goal line, they started off with the goal line drill, red zone drill, atrocious, terrible.
The red zone drill you referred to began with 4 throws, not one of which had any remote possibility of being completed. Not because the defense had significant coverage on it, maybe 1 or 2 were in that realm, but they were just off. I mean, balls were 2-3 yards away from receivers falling down. The 5th snap was Latavius Murray running into the line of scrimmage and being stoned by the second team.
Second team,
right?
yeah.
Not even the first team D, the second team D. That red zone drill, I think the Bills offense went 3 of 13 as a whole. The first team had a drive the field session not too long after. Again, had trouble getting in the end zone. There was a play late in the practice where Josh Allen tried to hit Deontay Hardy deep down the middle. Hardy had a step on DeMar Hamlin. Problem was Taylor Rapp was playing center field and pretty much fielded the ball like a center fielder catching a lazy fly in the 3rd inning of some baseball game. It never had a hope of being completed.
And the other problem is Deontay Hardy is 5'6" on a good day. Not the guy you want jumping up into double coverage on a deep post route.
So look, big picture, there's zero concern about the Bills offense. We know this offense is going to be at worst top 5, 6, 7, at worst. But everybody has bad days, and this was one for the offense. And again, in training camp, a lot of times you'll say, well, if the offense has a bad day, the defense must have had a good day. And they probably did have a good day, but we're not going to sit here and list 8 to 10 defensive stars or highlights today. There are a few. For the most part, this was just flat out bad offense.
And that first team at the red zone, at the goal line, 10 plays, 1 touchdown. And the 1 touchdown they did have, like you said, they brought the second team in. They eventually got Dawson Knox open off of some mismatch, some mesh patterns.
Yeah.
That's type of the thing where it's like, okay, we've got the second team out. We need to get something good happen. Let's just have them kind of pick each other somewhat illegally, and let's get Dawson Knox open for a touchdown.
It was legal.
It was an actual play.
Yeah, right. I mean, they picked the edge, and he kind of leaked out to the outside. It's a standard NFL play, and it worked against the second team, but it worked. So. That is the highlight of camp. It's funny to take so much time with this because, like I said, big picture, it's not that big a deal, but today it was that big a deal. Now,
it was a talking point last year, though.
That's true. One quick highlight, and we'll get to this a little bit more later. Latavius Murray looked good today, and he had 2 plays leaking out of the backfield where he busted them long. One looked like the Bills' defense was bringing some sort of all-out blitz. Murray leaked out, and he might have scored an actual 70-yard touchdown. A lot of times in camp, a guy will run to the end zone just to finish the play when everybody else has stopped caring. This was a play where he might have really scored. So Latavius Murray, offensive highlight, ladies and gentlemen.
I have seen that a couple times in camp so far. Josh Allen, the offense, doing a good job of identifying an all-out blitz to one side, just simply getting it out, taking the cheese to that running back. I've seen that a couple times at camp so far.
And taking the cheese, taking the easy throws, is certainly a point of emphasis for this offense this year. Speaking of offense, Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator, met with the media today. Couple of things I found interesting. Number one, he got a question about, in the current NFL, there's a lot less starters who play in preseason games. So how does that affect what you do in practice in the preseason? And Dorsey said, look, there's much more unscripted time in practice. Dorsey said when he played, almost everything in a training camp practice was scripted, except for maybe 2-minute drill. Now there's more of that because you want to see the guys just be able to play because you won't get that opportunity to have what would be a live period in a preseason game.
And that's how we got into that second red zone situation. Stephon Diggs had a deep play down the sidelines, maybe the only highlight from the offense.
That was a spectacular throw from Josh.
And then they kind of just busted out into red zone again. Granted, it didn't work, but that just kind of shows you, they just kind of play football at certain times.
The other thing I found interesting, Dorsey was talking about how having a return man as a part of the offense impacts that player's ability to pick up the offense, a la Deontay Hardy, now that Nyheim Hines is hurt. And what Dorsey said was, if he's a return man, it's not that big a deal because that's pretty much his only job. He doesn't have to learn so many different things. But if you're a player who's a part of what he called a 4-phase player, so that'd be kick coverage, kick return, punt coverage, punt return, that's a little more difficult. The reason I bring that up is Damian Harris has been a pretty consistent part of special teams during this training camp, to where I wonder, based on what Dorsey said, does that mean there might be less time for him to pick up the offense, and maybe he's less a part of this offense as a running back than we think he might be?
I mean, Christian McCaffrey picked up the offense in 1 week last year against the Niners, so I guess if there's a position where it's easier to pick it up, probably be running back maybe than a receiver, especially a guy like Hardy who, plays in the slot, can go outside for a little bit. They're getting him on all these, end arounds and in the backfield and stuff. So he's got a lot more to worry about. I don't know if I should be too concerned about Damian Harris's ability to pick up the offense, especially as a veteran, a guy who's done it a lot.
Remember, Nyheim Hines came here last year and didn't pick up the offense in like 3 months with pretty much with the easier special teams role of just being the return man.
That's a whole nother bag of worms as to why that never.
For sure, but I mean, it's the same coordinator, it's the same offensive position, a little different role. Harris is probably a lot less of a pass catcher than Hines, but it was something I thought of in light of what Dorsey said, that it may impact how this team operates going forward, because I think Harris will and should be a big part of this running game, and maybe he is going to be more of a special teams player. Now, look, I don't think anybody expects
James Cook, stock rising.
Well,
Latavius Murray as well.
Yeah.
Get him up your draft boards.
Cook for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to put Murray that high despite his good day today. But maybe Murray is going to be a little more involved. If you were going to have 3 running backs active on game day, and one of them, Harris, is going to play a lot of special teams, well, you can make that excuse. The reason that they sit Zach Moss down or Tywan Jones or guys like that the last few years is because that player did not contribute on special teams. Well, if Damian Harris is doing that, now you can have Murray active, and if you want, you can make it a 3-man committee at running back, all of a sudden stock down for all the running backs. So it is a possibility, considering, really like playing around with the different, theoretical ideas with his running back based on what Dorsey said today.
Maybe the takeaway is Latavius Murray needs to buy Damian Harris like a gift basket for helping him get on the roster, him taking care of the special team stuff. Wow. Latavius Murray can just be Latavius Murray out there.
I guess, but I mean, really the reason he's on the roster is because Nyheim Hines has an ACL injury more than anything else.
Yeah.
All right, let's turkey burger time, right?
Depth chart.
Depth chart. Should we want to hit on that? So
not too much to hit on.
Yeah, the Bills released their first depth chart yesterday, their day off from camp here ahead of the Week 1 preseason game. Every team in the league, I think, pretty much had a depth chart out yesterday, so not a surprise. The biggest note is Ryan Bates listed as the starting guard ahead of O'Cyrus Torrence. And I tweeted this yesterday, and I still believe it. Don't buy too much into that. Last year at this time, Kaiir Elam, despite being a first-round pick, despite being in a neck-and-neck battle to be a starter, was listed as the number 2 corner at this time last year. To me, this is a Bills rookie thing, and that rookies have to earn things. That's why Torrence is on the number 2 line, but this year, Elam, Benford, and Dane Jackson are all listed as the number 1 starter at corner 2 together. Yeah,
not a ton you take away from the depth charts. Like you said, all 3 of those corners still very much in the mix, which is what we've been seeing. The linebackers now down to Tyrell Dodson, Terrell Bernard, which is what we've been seeing.
They were listed together as well.
James Cook at RB1, no surprise there, but I guess a confirmation, but, not a whole lot to take away from.
Yeah, pretty much, as you would expect. And here's the other thing, too. The depth chart is not put out there to inform people. The depth chart is put out there as a mechanism of the coaches to send messages. So, I think they're reminding all the guys in position battles that that nothing has been decided, and they're reminding O'Cyrus Torrence that I don't care how many first-team reps you're going to get, you're going to have to, quotes, earn this. Now it's turkey burger time. You can go first.
I will go first with Gabe Davis. He had a really strong one-on-one session. He had 3 plays in particular, as I flip my notes to get my reminder there. Number 1, Gabe Davis beat Trey White on a fade route, left side of the end zone there, completion, touchdown. Play number 2 is best rep of the session. It was a real physical route against Christian Benford, kind of jammed him inside, and then busted out to the corner, right in the corner of the end zone, got 2 feet down, tapped the toes, really nice play. And then number 3, he just cooked Kaiir Elam. One of those plays where you kind of think how all the discussion on Twitter has been, it's so difficult to play one-on-one.
That drill is built for offense.
Yeah, it's built for offense. You can do whatever you want. Elam tried to kind of play him more on the outside. He juked him out of his shoes, got another touchdown. Of the 3 reps I saw, I think I walked over there slightly late. 3 for 3 for Gabe Davis, so definite turkey burger there.
Turkey burger for me too. Boogie Basham today. This was during the 2-on-2 O-line, D-line drills. He had a rep where he just, juked Tommy Doyle out of his shoes, got inside quick. Basham is going to have a bit of a rough go of it. They've been using him a little more defensive tackle, I think, trying to find a spot that you can make a case for him to stay on the roster. His camp has been mediocre, but definitely had a flash moment today.
I'll give a turkey burger by default to the red zone defense. If we're going to talk so bad about the offense, like we said, it was mostly the offense. It was mostly just really bad offense. But you know what? We'll toss a turkey burger to the red zone defense because stopping an elite offense 9 out of 10 times at the goal line, we can give you some lean protein.
Got to be doing something right there, that's for sure. Turkey burger for me too, as we talked about before, Latavius Murray, who looked spry, looked young. He's 33 years old. Look for a third string running back. You can do way worse in this league. And outside of the one Allen to Diggs deep ball, he was the offensive highlights, almost regardless of what team was in today. And one more for me. Speaking of that red zone defense, I will give a specific turkey burger to Taron Johnson.
The Thad Brown, Taron Johnson turkey burger, the daily occurrence.
The guy can play.
Yeah.
The guy can play, and I love watching him play. And today, he totally erased Dalton Kincaid on a red zone throw. Kincaid is I think, eventually going to turn into a really good weapon for the Bills. But, Taron Johnson at this point is still a guy that's one level too high for him. And you saw it again. Kincaid was trying to run a little bit of an out fade route in the sideline of the end zone, and Johnson pretty much just replaced him. If you tried to look and see the 8-6 on the jersey, all you saw was 7 with his back turned. He was that good and has been that good on a regular basis.
Should we toss one to Saran Neal as well for his interception?
Yes, we should.
A bad Kyle Allen throw.
You know what? A little bit bad throw, but another one where, when you're in zone and you have guys at different levels down the field, the trick for the quarterback is fitting a ball over the short defender and in front of the deep defender. He didn't fit it over Saran Neal, and Saran Neal made him pay.
He fit it right to his numbers.
No, he had to go up and get that. That was a jump, though. He did it. Picked it out of the air.
You might be selling him.
He reached over his head to get it.
I guess.
When the Bills tweeted out, next week on Friday,
they
we'll take a
will
look
not
at
be tweeting that one out because it makes Kyle Allen look really bad.
I don't know.
After the play, Kyle Allen.
You could cut it so that it just starts with where the catch is,
They can CGI in tour or something.
Exactly.
But after the play, Kyle Allen, as you would expect, very upset with himself, clapping his hands multiple times in anger at himself.
Yeah,
so,
look, it is a mistake on Kyle Allen's part.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like Saran had the ball hit him in the chest. He had to go up and get it.
It's probably somewhere in the middle of
No, it is not. I am right and you are wrong.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
Either way, a turkey burger, though, for sure.
All right.
All right. So we are done here on Buffalo Campday Recap. We have one more practice at St. John Fisher. That is tomorrow, 9:45, and then the Bills are done here at camp. It'll be our last Campday Recap broadcast. There will be many more discussion broadcasts that will be had, certainly between now and the start of the season, of course, once we get into...
Even on Saturday.
Yeah. We'll do one this weekend for sure after the first preseason game. So for AJ Feldman, I'm Thad Brown. Thanks for watching on RochesterFirst.com. Thanks for listening wherever you find your podcasts. We'll see you tomorrow on Buffalo Campday Recap.